To our live video series. Today we're going to walk through the current top-of-the-line Kia EV6, which is the GT line package 2. We're filming here in Canada, but different names across different parts of the world. But GT line package 2 is the current top of the line, and we're going to compare that to kind of a mid-line version, which is still the long-range all-wheel drive, so same motors, same power output, same batteries, but a lot of different trim pieces. And a lot of people have kind of wanted to know the difference between essentially that car and moving up the line. So we'll be able to show you some of those differences in this video. Now, we're not just going to talk about the spec differences. You can find those online, and we'll obviously brush over those, and we'll try to cover as many of those as we can. But we're going to talk about a lot of the things that don't show up in the spec sheet that may matter to you if you're interested in these cars, especially since they're hard to see in person and certainly hard to get, and you may have to order one without actually being able to see the exact trim that you want to see. So that's what the plan is with this video. Because it's a live video, we let our live audience join in the first 3 minutes of the video. So if you're not watching live with us and you just want to get to that content, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark if you want. In the meantime, we're talking about some news and some notes, and I will show you how to join these videos while we're doing it. Hey, bonjour, Eleanor. Eleanor is speaking in French to me, and I can read it, but I can't speak it very well, so I'll do my best. All right, over here, if you want to join us, when we're doing our live videos, all you have to do is go into the Kia Hyundai channel, and if you refresh the page at 2 o'clock Eastern time, you will see, there we go, you will see that the live video there takes over. So we're going to click into that. As we do that, you're going to have to watch a quick little ad, and as you watch an ad, I'm going to run a quick little ad. Ooh, it's a Jeep Gladiator. Interesting marketing for an EV video. All right, we're skipping that ad. First of all, I'm going to run an ad for the 3 dealers that support this channel: Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, and Owen Sound Hyundai. Those are 3 dealers that support this channel. And if you're interested in buying these cars or Hyundai's versions of these cars, give us a call. Connect with us. There'll be a link in the description. As soon as I'm done the live video, you can reach out to me. I will connect you with our sales team. We'll take care of you. All right, real quickly, we got 45 people on. I've been gone for like about 5 weeks or so do me a favor, guys, hit the like button all together right now if you're a regular, and let's get a whole bunch of regulars back here. Let them know that we're back, because if you all hit the like button together, it sends out more notifications, and that'll let them know. All right, so this is adding to our anxiety while we wait for our deliveries. Is that what this video is doing? I'm sorry, I hope not. All right, quickly, news and notes. I'm not doing a live video tomorrow, and next week I'll be posting some stuff, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So yeah, don't expect me to be live tomorrow. Like I said, we'll talk about what's going on a little bit later. But Gabby and Charlotte are going to be, actually, I don't think anybody's going to post a video tomorrow. I have some stuff pre-filmed for next week that I'm going to cover as well, and we'll talk about that later. 5 seconds to go. Let's just move right into the video. Do me a favor, guys, if you're a regular, hit that like button. If you're not a regular, hopefully I can earn that. All right, here we go. 3 minutes in. First thing I'm going to cover in these 2 cars with differences is the keys. Both of these keys I can keep in my pocket throughout the whole video. I have no need to pull them out for anything, except if I wanted to, push the car forward or back, or drive the car forward and back from the key fob remote. This is essentially a remote control car, and you know what? Let's just see if it'll work in here. Sometimes it doesn't work when we're so close to the building. So let's remote start it from this button here. This is only available on the top of the line version in our today's video. So actually, hold on, we gotta lock the doors first. Lock the doors, and then we're gonna remote start the vehicle. So remote start is really just remote climate functionally, but in this case, it does activate the car. And then you can see what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the top or the middle button there, which is gonna move the car forward if it senses that it's safe to do so. So let's just see what it's thinking. Yep, it's gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna move it forward for you. And I'm doing that right through the remote on the phone. I'm gonna not look through the phone here, and we're gonna stop it ourselves. It will stop eventually by hitting that, or before it hits that pillar. Now let's see if we can move it backwards. We can do that here as well. And this is something that you can use to pull it out of the garage for you, or in a tight parking spot. You can just do that right from the key fob remote. And if you want that feature, it is available here on the GT line package 2. What I'm going to do is turn the vehicle off again. It's kind of a fun little toy. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how much I would use it, and in that case, the other vehicle may be just fine for you. The other difference with these 2 keys, you can remote start it from the side here, or remote climate from the side here, but you can't. Actually, we should probably show those together. Give me 1 second, I'll try to show these both together. So again, the difference in keys, let's just show the sides together here. If we can get them in focus, there we go. So you have lock on the top, unlock is the next button, and then you have a trunk button, because the gray one here, the package 2, has the powered trunk, whereas this one is a, where are we, the hold button there for the remote start, and then the horn button on the bottom. And this is a longer key on the GT line package 2, a little bit longer there. Both these keys I'm gonna put in my pocket because I don't really need them for a whole lot. because I can unlock the cars and use them as remote vehicles. So what we're gonna do in this video is go over the exterior look of both these cars, compare front to front, side to side, back to back, wheels to wheels. We're also gonna go in the driver's seat, compare some of the differences that way, some of the rear seat functions. Trunk is essentially the same, I'll show you that as well, but it is a powered trunk on one. And we'll talk about some of the software features that you may not see or notice in the spec sheet. So first of all, let's just look at the front of the GT Line Package 2. Now this is our sort of essentially demo vehicle. This is my boss's vehicle right now. As we get a look here, you don't have to really memorize anything, just sort of notice the paint down here, painted features there. You're gonna see that there is a different grille to both of these cars. So try to get them both in the same shot, and I can't do that very well. But you can see this one really comes up here and down to the side. You have a little different look there. The radar plate is kind of the, as far as a trapezoid, it is a trapezoid that comes down like this and like that on the side. I don't know if you can quite see that as well on your angle, whereas it does the exact opposite over here. Again, this is part of that forward-facing radar type system. And again, painted sides down there. So there are some differences on the front there. On the wheel side of things, this is a 19-inch wheel, and these ones happen to be gray inserts, essentially. So when I say inserts, they are a solid wheel, whereas the other one has some plastic inserts on it. But these ones are gray. You can get them with black as well, depending on your trim line. And they are 19-inch wheels, 235, 55 R19 wheels. Now over here, you have 255, 45 R20. So they are 20-inch wheels. This is a plastic insert. You can kind of hear that plastic. It's all about aerodynamics as well as the looks. And some people think that 20-inch wheels, oh, I don't want them because, they're 45 series tires, 255/45 R20. Now, 45 series tires on a 20-inch rim, you still have quite a bit of sidewall. So keep in mind, if you had like a 15-inch tires back in the day, you wanted at least 60 series sidewall. This 45 is probably just as much sidewall. So there's still a lot of sidewall even on these 20-inch tires, because frankly, they're big tires. They give you a lot of contact and a lot of grip on these cars, which is one of the nice things. One of the cool things is, if this may or may not work, but as I just approach this, no keys in my hand, as I approach it, those handles pop out automatically. I didn't press any buttons, I didn't do anything else. Now I can touch that little indent there to get the handles present and to get the car to unlock. But over here, and as I walk away, it locked itself there. Over here, these handles don't present. So even if I walk up, all I can do to unlock the car is touch here. And actually the car's already unlocked, but these are not the automatic handles. So that's something to remember there. Much easier to do with actually it's easier to do with whichever hand I want, but it's easier to do when I'm not on camera is what the short answer is. But those handles don't present automatically. So you're gonna be pushing them in and pulling them out like that. It's very easy to do, but if you wanted the powered handles that pop out for you, that's only on the top trim. Down along the side, I want to show you some trim there. Now again, these cars are not perfectly clean, bear with me, but you do have a black section that comes up there and two nice, I think they're nice, silver, I wouldn't call them pinstriping, they are actual details that stick out, but they do add some nice little detail in there. And if we compare that same look over here, so memorize that for a second. As we come over here, a much sportier style design here. Body color on the bottom, piano black trim in there. Again, these cars are not perfectly clean. I do apologize for that. And then coming up top, same idea here. The mirrors have some differences here. Let's just unlock the car completely here. So we're gonna unlock it. I'm gonna open, oops, I just locked it as oh boy. Shut the door for a second. I locked it as I came close because I was jiggling the handles. There we go. It's open. We're gonna leave those door mirrors out now. So when you look at the mirrors here, you do have a little dent or a bump down there, which is the camera, and we'll show you why that matters inside for the 360 camera, for a whole bunch of functions actually that camera does. So over here, no camera on the mirror. Finally, we'll go around to the backside. Actually, let's look at the wheel wells for a second here. As we look over here, sort of a piano black trim with some texture in here. You can see them on camera. Whereas over here, we're going body color smooth, no texture there at all. Coming back to the long-range all-wheel drive, same sort of thin look echoing the front, and the dark trim comes up to here, whereas you're gonna see on the other car, it's gonna go down in there, and there's also a different backup light, different reverse light, single little LED, sort of, not single LED, but a smaller appearing LED down there. And then of course, there's your backup light down there, multiple lights there. And again, that license plate is in the painted area, whereas the license plate over there would be in the black area. So there's your visual differences. GT Line badge here for the GT line package 2. No badging on the right side of that vehicle over there. But those are your main key differences between these two vehicles. Parking sensors are on the rear of this car and the rear of the other car, but not on the front. So we'll jump in the driver's seat next. Again, no parking sensors in the front there, and you'll see what I mean in a second as we come back here. So, right over here, parking sensors across the front. So, let's jump into this vehicle first and show you a couple of the, more high-end features, and you'll see what's different once we move to the other vehicle. So, powered seats, these ones are a suede type look, and or suede type actual feel. And oh boy, it's still hot in here. I forgot to turn on the, open these doors and let the heat out of here. So I'm gonna be running this because it's an electric vehicle. I can run it inside without gassing out my boss, who's in the next office, probably not watching my video. He might be watching. All right, so we're gonna keep the air conditioning on for me. It's set to 19 degrees. That works fine for me for now because it's hot in here. Actually, I'm gonna put the windows down just to get a little fresh air as well. Okay, so a couple of things I like. Maybe I'll just turn the volume down of that air conditioning a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so a couple things I like. Remember I talked about the cameras in the mirrors. So here's a pretty cool way to show you a lot of different ways. Let's throw the car in reverse. As we do that, you're going to see that this camera right here, let's just do the driver's side camera as an example. It's looking straight down to give you the bird's eye view. So there's my hand out the window. But if you had, the floor, you can sort of see that tiled floor. So that camera right there is looking down. Now, if you want to have some fun, that exact same camera on this car is showing you over to the side there. So that's where, for instance, my computer is sitting right there. So in this case, that same camera is looking out that window over there. So again, the camera's looking down in the one view, it's looking out that way towards my computer in the other view. And now to have even some more fun, let's signal left, and you can see there, it's looking behind me. So again, hand in the window here, hand out there, in the mirror and in the window, it's looking at my blind spot here. So the camera in the mirror is far more than just a 360 camera. It allows you to see your blind spot over here. It allows you to see around the vehicle here. So again, the right side mirror is looking at the other car there. The color of this car should match this, but it doesn't. But yeah, you can sort of see around there. So that camera obviously adapts to whatever I'm moving it around here. And then it also shows down there. So those side mirror cameras may or may not be important to you, but if they are, they certainly add more than just one function of this 360 camera. The other car you're going to see just has a backup camera, doesn't have that 360 camera. So kind of a nice thing to have there. As we take a look at the dash here, you've got some textured plastic. Not only is this patterned, it has a texture to it. So it kind of adds some intrigue and some interest there. You can see the ambient lighting virtually everywhere. Down over there, you can see a little bit of it in the dash over there. Certainly coming across here, you can customize that color. You've got, this will be essentially the same in both cars, but here, these buttons here, you can see they've got some fingerprints on them right now. They are just touch buttons. They do not have actual press buttons. And we'll make sure you understand the difference when we go to the other car there. Over here, a lot of the same stuff down here. Again, the camera button brings up that 360 camera, which I do like if you're parking, because keep in mind, if I'm driving forward, which I'm doing right now, this shows the front of my car. So if there was a curb in front of my car, this front camera is going to give me the ability to see in front of my camera. I think it's worth noting that that 360 camera adds a lot more than just this 360 view. So it's something worth pointing out. Coming down here, again, lots of space down there. This car is being used right now. So we've got a cord plugged in there, lots of space for a purse and that kind of thing. So overall, some piano black trim here. We'll take a look at the steering wheel there, and we'll take a look. And we got some two-tone over here as well, some lighter color on the door as well. All right, let's keep that in mind as we turn this car off and jump into powered seats here as well with the memory seats, which is good to know. And keep in mind, in the memory seats, you have different users in that center screen. So when you hit the different user settings, you will be able to, when you, like, let's say we switch it from Peter to Pat, my boss, the seat will adjust, the mirrors will adjust, the stereo will adjust, the climate will adjust, even the ambient lighting will adjust. So there's a lot of things that you adjust on this car when you switch that driver. Now again, over here, these door handles will not present themselves. So I'm gonna just put my finger in, whoops, try to get that camera, put my finger in there, pull it out. It's very easy to do. Again, still powered seats here, still different seats, but instead of having that suede, you've got a cloth over here with a leather-like front and leather-like side bolsters there. Still quite nice looking. I think it's an expensive looking cloth. And over here on the door, again, no two-tones. Remember we had the whiter color down there, the lighter beige, lighter white color on the other vehicle. Some differences in the door panels here for sure. Coming across the dash, while you share the same dual screen setup here, I'm going to put the windows down. Oh, I should point out, there's a lot of shipping plastic on this car. So when the finishes don't look correct, that's because I haven't peeled this car completely, and I probably should have, but I didn't. So again, 12.3 inch screen, and now instead of having that textured plastic, you actually have this cloth looking piece, but it's not cloth. It looks very much like cloth, but it is plastic. So again, I quite like the look of that. We're going to turn this down a little bit as well. All right, so we'll just keep that there. You know what? Do the same thing. Open the windows. All right, so over here, let's just show you the backup camera to start. Look at the backup camera. You still have your backup beepers to warn you something's there, and you have your backup camera here. If you turn the wheel, it guides you, same as the other vehicle, but you don't have that 360 camera, and that means when I signal left, for instance here, you don't have that signal looking at your blind spot, and you don't have that fancy ability to swing the car around by hitting different buttons. Now, you do have the option of looking straight down off the back. This car can tow up to 2,000 pounds, so that's something where you could hook a hitch up, and it lines up the hitch with that line there. Or you can just go to the wide angle, which is what you're going to use 99% of the time. But again, a little bit of a feature difference in there. When we talked about the hard buttons versus the touch buttons, this right here are the hard buttons that I'm talking about. So no ventilated seats on here. Let's turn the signal off. No ventilated seats on this vehicle. The cloth seats, you know, I don't know that you need them, but you have the actual push button. So instead of touch buttons, I'm going to be honest, on this setup, I like that better. I don't mind some of the touch type stuff, but the angle that these are on in the other car, I find that, you know, the occasional time I've touched on my, seat cooler on the other non-touch button. It's something that I think I would get used to if I owned the car, but I've been driving the car for about a week or so, that last car that we were just in, and I did a couple times turn on that seat ventilation. I guess my finger was rubbing across here, so you wouldn't have that accidentally happen with these push buttons, and I need to turn that off because they already are warming me up from when I turned it on. So really nice feature there. Start button there, a little different texture down here, I believe. You know what, I didn't remember that, but maybe you guys will from the video. And again, this all looks the same, but this camera button will only turn on your rear view camera. Still have the wireless charge pad here, that's identical. So everything's identical there. And again, a little different texture to this armrest in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go take some questions. Oh, I should point out, let's look at some other things. The other vehicle did have a large sunroof. This one does not have a sunroof. Now, if I drop this seat down, that may provide you with some extra headroom. It is a little snug on headroom with the sunroof. Now, I'm not saying it's bad for most people, but if you are very tall, and I'm again 6 feet tall, and you can see I've got lots of space, but if you're a very tall individual, the sunroof does take some headroom away with the way it's sort of built in around the roof. This one will provide you with more headroom, and that might matter to you, again, if you're very tall. So just something to keep in mind. Coming across the dash here, a lot of great things. We'll talk about some safety features, some spec features in a second, but what I'm gonna do is go take some questions. So do me a favor, guys, we've got about 88 people on. We hit 51 likes. Let's just go for 90 likes today. That seems like a fair number. So if you all hit the like button together right now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that'll help us out. And again, if you want us to do more videos, the more likes on these videos, the more they see that. And of course, that prioritizes videos on the EV6 and vehicles like that. So we'll hit park there for a second. We're gonna turn this car off. I'm gonna go take your questions, and then we're gonna go back and look at some rear seat space, rear seat features, excuse me. And then we'll continue on the video. I don't know that, we might have to stretch this one out to that full half hour, but your questions will probably determine a lot of what we're doing here. Again, we're focusing a little bit on the differences that don't show up on the spec sheets. I will cover some spec things in a minute here, but let's just see what your questions are first. If you've got anything good, feel free to write it down. And what have we got? Somebody ordered the GT line there, okay. The way it controls for the audio system and heating can switch to use the same buttons and knobs is so incredibly cool and clever. Yeah, to be honest, that's my least favorite thing of this car. I have found that if you leave the buttons on radio, you still have the 4 areas there for the climate control, auto climate control. In an EV, you really want to try to use the auto function of the climate control as much as possible. Kia, who builds these cars, they know that. So that's why they kind of are able to switch back and forth between these two controls. You can still see in the radio buttons, the climate controls. I'll show you what I'm talking, actually, let's just show you what I'm talking about right now, in case you don't know what we're talking about. It's one thing that I honestly, I wish they did it differently, but I understand people like clean lines, designers like clean lines. So let's just turn it on and say what I'm talking about here. It is a feature that they're moving in the Kia Sportage and in the EV. It kind of makes some sense here. So what we're talking about is this button right here. You can see these are all climate control buttons. The right side climate adjustment, left side climate adjustment. But if you switch it over here, these all become the radio type, screen type buttons. Now, most of these buttons are redundant buttons, so you can leave it on climate all you want and adjust everything here. If you wanted a volume switch, you have it on your wheel anyways, right over here. So you can leave it there, but I do prefer to leave these on the radio buttons here and then tap them across if I need the climate, because really the climate should almost always be set to auto climate. As soon as I start playing with things, let's just adjust the fan speed here. If I touch one button here, I've kicked it off of the auto climate, right? So very good responsive buttons. It's not an issue to touch them. Some people don't like touchscreens, but they are extremely responsive. There's a beep. It's not a big deal. But for the most part, to maximize range and other things, you want the car to think for itself with the climate, and you can set the auto climate to where you want. If I switch these back to the radio button, so right now this is my driver's side temperature, passenger side temperature, or you can control both from here. If I switch it to the radios, they switch to the volume knob and the tuning knob, which I think makes some sense as well. It's one of the things I don't like. I think if I own the car, you're fine, because your rear defroster, front defroster, auto climate control, the buttons you need the most are already there. It's really just into detail. The only thing I don't like is if your passenger wants to adjust their own temperature, you know, if they don't know the car, they don't know to switch back and forth. So just something to keep in mind. It's, like I said, my least favorite feature, but I think it is very functional. And once you own the car, of course, you don't even think about it. You know how to work it. So that is something there. Other than that, there is nothing I don't like about these cars. They're very, very, very good. And that's, you know, I try to be honest with my reviews about what I like. Okay, let me just go through some of the questions here. If I order a GT Line Package 2 today, what will be the earliest day able to get the car? Honestly, guys, personally, I don't know. It's different a little bit per car. And the best thing to do is connect with your sales team, because they're going to walk you through the process, the latest information they have. What I know today might change tomorrow. Those are the kind of things that happen. So there is that. Somebody says, is this an electric SUV? You could call it an SUV. I call it a car. I think they call it a crossover. It's kind of an in-betweener. So it depends on, you can call it whatever you want, really. Does the GT Line 2 have a full black painted roof? Not in Canada. It may in other markets, but right now the body color is the roof color. Has production increased, meaning has orders gotten to dealerships faster? I absolutely think production has increased as much as they can. Demand has far outstripped production in these cars. There is a wait, it's just what it is. You know, EV fans are very familiar with Tesla. Tesla has a number of waits with their vehicles as well. They're trying to catch up with demand. A lot of people who are buying EVs, regardless of brand, are buying them. You know, in our case, you can drive the model, but they're buying them relatively unseen. You don't see the car that you're actually going to buy, and there is a wait. So if you want one, people keep saying to me, should I wait until there's less demand? And the short answer is, if you really want one, no. Get your order in now so that it can be placed, and then we can get you the car. And it may be a while. My parents are waiting for one of these cars. They just got to test drive it actually today for the first time. They were away in the US for most of the winter. So they came in to drive it today, and theirs is a year away still. So there is a wait for these cars. You know, if that works for you, let's just put it up front. It is there. If it doesn't work for you, hey, I understand that. I mean, not everybody can wait that long for a car. Somebody says they got theirs early. There we go. Last month I made it. I was on a Carnival. Oh, Carnival. Will a Carnival be a 2023? Yeah, it's going to probably be a 2023 now at this point. Okay, rare car. Yeah, they're both rare cars. There have been numerous owners posting about alignment issues with the power tailgate. Is this going to be addressed? So I haven't seen that here. Like I said, I just haven't seen it. I know people post about that. Anything that goes on with these cars, guys, I criticize Kia as much as the next person. I think when they do something wrong, you just saw me criticize their design decisions. The way Kia handles issues with their car is top notch. It really is. And I mean, everybody's got issues, and you can complain about the issues we've had in the past. Every car manufacturer has issues. Kia's had issues. What they do is they are very good about customer satisfaction. Whether it's a recall, whether it's a service action or service campaign, there are a team of people that work on owner satisfaction. And if there's a problem with the vehicle, they usually come out with a fix, and they do that very well, and it costs nothing to the user. So they are very good with that. And if there's an alignment issue with the thing that you've heard about online, I would say be patient. I've seen them come through with things. I've seen them on Sorrentos in the past have to replace door handles because there was an issue that could be an issue with a lock or something like that. And they had all these door handles replaced, you know, before they ever failed because they wanted to do those kinds of things. So I've seen them do things. If there's an issue with these cars, I really trust the company to take care of it and do well. Apple CarPlay, will it be wireless soon? Short answer is I don't think so. It is wired only on these cars with the larger screens. I've heard rumors of why. You guys have heard rumors of why. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So in this car, I don't mind it being wired as much because it is a spot where you can sort of hide everything down low. Oops, let me flip the camera around. But yeah, for now, it is a wireless CarPlay on the 8-inch screens, and anything bigger, it is wired. But again, you can put it down there. There's a USB-C port there as well. Okay, let's go rear seat, and then we'll just talk about trunk in a second. So rear seat features again. So the rear doors here, these are power door handles, but even when the door handle's in, you can pop it out and use it yourself. So you don't have to wait for the power to present itself. Somebody had the seats down here, so let's put them back up. Oh boy, I have to two-handed here. Let me just show you what I'm doing here. You get to, oh boy, this is probably not gonna be a flattering look on the camera, but let's see what we can do here. All right, so you lift the handle and pull them up. Now, what I like here is I can show you how uncomfortable these rear seats are. This is very upright, and that's something that a lot of people haven't realized, and I didn't realize. Maybe I should point this out more. These are actually tilting seats, so you can tilt them quite a bit. When it's upright like this, you can put a box in the trunk and have it a little bit closer to the front. The trunk space is massive on this car. It is very, very large. So jumping in here, again, GT Line Package 2, I'm coming in. It is not comfortable because that seat is upright. So we're gonna bring it back to where it's comfortable. Headroom is totally fine. Legroom is pretty good for an EV. My legs are basically on the seat, not perfectly on the seat, but basically, certainly something like a Tesla Model 3, you've got your legs up here. It's way more comfortable than that. It's not an issue. The other couple things that I really like here, heated rear seats. So the seat bottoms are heated rear seats. They are two levels of heated seats. Kia Stinger has 3 levels of heated seats in the rear. So that is comfortable. 2 levels of heated rear seats up here. I was just looking at the very bright lights there. So you can see very bright LED lights that are kind of nice. Dark headliner here. Let's flip around to the seats in front. You've got these kind of coat hook style, coat hook style. That's what that's for. That looks kind of different. Some people think that this looks like it's way far out, but it's not. The seat lines up with that. It's just from the back that it looks way far forward. But you can hang a jacket or something on there. USB-C ports in the rear here, so you can have a USB-C charging device. Some people wonder why there's no vents here, and there are vents back here. The difference is they're not here. They're up on the wall there. So that's, in my opinion, actually probably a better spot. A little closer to your face. You can bring it up or down where you need it. And there are seat back pockets here as well for driver and passenger. So everything you just saw, driver and passenger, is identical. Meridian sound system is one feature you do get in this vehicle. You don't get in the other vehicle, although they both have pretty good sounds. This is phenomenal for sure. Okay, let's go rear seat over here. Now again, a lot of shipping plastic here. I only stripped the main bits of plastic that I need to. You can see the seat back still have that there. Still a reclining seat here, but let's just jump in. No heated seats. As we take a look in here, cloth seats, same thing. So same battery pack underneath, which means the floor is the same thing. USB-C down there, pockets there. The only difference really is, again, that's shipping plastic. It's not actually white there. I'll show you the other side in 1 second here. But you have no heated seats there. You still have the venting. And then if we look above us here, we have the light color roof. So a little bit more airy feeling here. This seat is a long ways back, so I'm gonna bring it forward. And again, lots of options there. Again, same seating position exactly, same functions, just a lighter head roof, no heated rear seats. And that's really it. You're not losing anything else by coming to this level. Oh no, I'm child locked in the car? Or am I locked in the car? Oh boy. I think I've got the key here. This is gonna be funny, isn't it? There we go, I think it opened. Oh, no, I'm child locked. Okay, so live video problems. Let's see if I can go this side. Nope, of course not. Okay, so child lock's active on this car, which is super helpful. Oh boy, there's no way to do this gracefully, is there? Do I have to climb to the front seat now? No, I can't have to do that. Let's go to the unlock button from the inside. Oh, I should have touched the button. Now I've really screwed myself over. If anybody's watching, I have to hit, what I should have had to hit was that button right there, the center, the bottom button there. I didn't do that. I am currently locked in the car because I didn't do that. So what we're gonna do here is you're all gonna pause for a second and like me as I awkwardly climb out here because I should not have opened that door because I definitely can't reach there, and I'm trapped in this car. Not trapped, but the child seat's locked. Oh boy, there's no way to do this nicely. I'm sorry, whoever's car this is. I'm not stepping on your seat, promise. Okay, this is going well. This is the problem with working alone, guys. Yeah, it's been 5 weeks since, oh, my foot's stuck. It's been 5 weeks. It's been 5 weeks since I've done these videos. I'm a little rusty. That wasn't fun. Okay, so what I should have done there was simply hit this button right here. That's it. All I had to do is hit that button, and I would have been able to get out of this seat. And that wasn't good. Oh, use the outside handle. Would have been a great idea, but the power's off in the car. I couldn't, oh, I could have started the car. No, I can't start the car. Oh, I could have turned it on from the power button. Yeah, that would have been good. Oh boy. All right, we are 30 minutes in. I am here for you. I have been working out. I am still limber. That's what's going on. All right, should we check lighting on the car? I think we should. I think it's identical, but to be fair, I haven't actually checked them side by side. So we'll do a check of lighting and do as I say, not as I do when you get in these cars. Okay, so we're gonna go headlights fully on, left side signal, and the cars are on. So that's what we're gonna set this up as. I believe they're identical, but let's just check that together because sometimes I'm surprised by things and clearly I don't know what I'm doing today. So let's just, oh, we gotta touch the foot to the brake to go fully on. All right, fully on, left side signal, full headlight system. Okay, headlighting, definitely the same. You've got, again, signal lights in the mirrors here, signal lights in the mirrors over there. Signal light on top, so again, daytime running light is down low and up top, but it changes to the signal light. So again, GT line package 2, there's your daytime running lights, white, and again, when you signal, that will go amber. Coming across here, oh, I'm seeing differences. No, maybe it's just the color differences. Yeah, they're the same. Yep, same thing here. So same thing, bright white LED headlights in there that are nicely sharply focused. These lights are off. Let's go to the back of the car. So one thing I was a little disappointed is in the United States, when I went to LA, to the LA Auto Show, saw this car for the first time, the signal lights were actually these chrome type pieces. Now this isn't quite the same chrome, I don't think. Maybe it is. Looks different from the white and the gray. But that was the signal lights on that pre-production model, or at least that American version there that in Canada, and on the production version here in Canada, those are your signal lights. Now they are very precise. The camera is seeing a flicker in there. What you're seeing with the non-signal flicker is just the lights interacting with things. So the standard on, off is the light, but there's sometimes it's a flicker with LED lights the way they interact with the camera, and that's that. So it's not acting weird, but yeah, same lights front and back. And again, the on-off is normal. If you see any other flickering in that light, that is just the way the camera interacts with it. So there we go. 133 people on. We were going for 90 likes. So there's 12 people out there. We got 79 likes. If there's 12 people that say, hey, I appreciate the work you're doing, appreciate the video, I want to see more of these, do me a favor, guys, hit the like button. I'm going to double check the questions again here. And there's some good people making fun of me. Feel free to make fun of me climbing out of that. Why the EV6 doesn't come with a panoramic sunroof like the Hyundai Ioniq 5. So the Hyundai Ioniq 5 has a full glass panoramic roof, or glass-ish. I don't know if it's fully glass. It's, you know, it looks like a full panel of glass. And it's pretty impressive. The entire roof is essentially glass. It's transparent. However, that one doesn't open. So obviously Kia made the decision in their design decision to go with an opening sunroof on their version. And it is a large sunroof, which is pretty good, but it does not go the full roof. So why did they do it? Well, the short answer is, although the Ioniq 5 and this car share that skateboard platform in here, they share, you know, that kind of stuff, the suspension can be different. And really the body from the ground up can be totally different. They have the flexibility there. So again, the Ioniq 5 being a little bit taller car, to me, I think it's a little bit shorter car as well. I could be wrong on that, but there are some differences between those two platforms. Safety-wise, between these two, forward collision avoidance assist with junction assistance. So essentially, that's a thing that comes on this car. If you're at a stoplight about to turn across my path and I decide to run the light, this car is capable of seeing that and stopping. That car does not have that exact same function. So there are some safety differences in here. You can go over that spec sheet. Those are some of those safety things that we could talk about. There's also vehicle to load. You guys have probably heard a lot about this. This vehicle comes standard with that. So what that means is it's a dongle that plugs into the back charging port over here and has a little plug off of the dongle, and you can run all sorts of, like, it's a household plug essentially. There's also one in between the rear seats. I don't know if I can get it on camera here, probably not. But it's just sort of in between the rear seats on the front side there on this model. Now, vehicle to load, The software, let me just turn this car off and I'll show you one quick thing before we wrap it up. The software is available to do vehicle to load even on this trim or this car here. I could show you in the software, but I don't think I need to show you the software. Let's turn that off. There we go, so turn signal lights off. But let me show you here. There is no plug in the center seat like on the other version, but again, the software is still here for vehicle to load, and you still have that sort of vehicle to load button there. So you could buy the dongle and plug it in as an accessory, but if you wanted the dongle and everything and the inside plug, you gotta go with that vehicle, and it comes standard with that vehicle. So how about cleaning the car, especially the matte colored one? They say by hand. Any experience with it? So briefly, when this car came in, I didn't touch it. I was afraid of it, but I've been driving this car most of the week, and I got it dirty. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna clean it. So they don't recommend brushes, power brushes, those kind of things. There's a number of things. There is a car cleaning kit you can buy, which we did. I haven't seen it myself yet, which has all the instructions, but there's an instruction on how to do this. There's a Kia bulletin on how to wash this car. It's not as bad as I think some people think it is. I had this car with bird poop on it, and I sprayed it down, I wiped it down, it's totally fine. So I don't think it's as, I don't think you have to be as fearful of it as some people are, but there is a difference. You don't want to go through, if you're the kind of person that always runs through the power car wash, that's not something you want to do with this. They flat out recommend against that. You can do that in the regular paint, but not this matte paint. But yeah, I will say it's not as bad as some people are fearing. And to be honest, because it doesn't have that same shine, you can really see the shine in the door right there, because it kind of blots it out, it almost looks cleaner while dirty than the regular shiny paint does. So I'm not as afraid of it as I thought, but there is, again, an extra cost to that paint, so it just depends on what you want to do. But like I said, it's just not something that scares me as much as it scares other people. I tend to power spray and wash my own cars as much as possible on my own anyways. I don't tend to go through many car washes, so personally, although I wasn't sure I would buy one, I don't think I would shy from it myself, but you can sort of make those decisions yourself. It is more maintenance, but it's not as fragile as I think some people make it out to be. So we're gonna leave it like that. I know there's some other questions in here. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that for now. We have more information on these vehicles coming up in the future and every other Kia and Hyundai vehicle that we sell. So we'll cover that. I wanna thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for the 100 likes. And again, we'll see you again. No live video tomorrow. We'll be back doing some stuff next week and stuff. You'll see us online. And we'll continue to post videos almost daily as we go through. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again in the next one.